Hi everyone, welcome back to Box of Delights. Today we're playing Judge Dredd, Helter, Skelter, a Wildlands game from Martin Wallace, published by Osprey Games, featuring a host of characters from British comic 2000 AD. And we're playing with the Dark Judges expansion. This one allows us to play solo against the Dark Judges. So let's dive straight in and learn how to play. In the game, you can take on the role of one of four teams: the Strontium Dogs, Slain, Nikolai Dante, or Judge Dredd. The expansion introduces a fifth team, the Dark Judges, who are here to spread death in Mega City 1. Today, we're going to be playing a solo game. We can take on the Dark Judges using one of the four teams. We're going to be playing Johnny Alpha and his team of Strontium Dogs, and we're going to be playing on the map side that's the city blocks. Enid Blyton is divided into lots of little rooms. These yellow walls are rooms, encouraging lots of close combat. And then the rooftops of Dantana offer lots of cover, these spaces with numbers in black circles. In between, teams would be falling to their deaths if it were not for these three bridges that join these two rooftops. This is a multiplayer skirmish game. In solo, so we take on the role of one team, and we have an AI deck that drives the Dark Judges as our opposition. There's a deck of location cards that represent each one of these little regions. Each has a number in it. There's a location card for each location. But in solo and two-player, 9 of those cards are removed from the game. So I've placed them here on the map. They've got 3+ players icon on the bottom. So if you're choosing to play solo with me, remove these cards from the game and you'll see that they take out the different corners of the game as far as initial setup is concerned. So these cards determine where our characters and the Dark Judges will deploy, and also where our fragments of reality will be located. The fragments of reality are the key to restoring world order. We've got to collect those from the map to score points. Defeating Dark Judges, score points. Our target is 6 points. I'll show you how this works as we get into play. Right, let's dive straight in and start this game off. To get the game going, we're going to first place our fragments of reality on the map. And we'll do this using these location cards. So 5 of them randomly. So number 6 up here on the bridge. Nice. 11 and 12, which are just here. 17 and 32. Pretty spread out. And we're going to do the same for the ghostly gang of 4, starting with their leader, Judge Death. Let's see where he goes. Number 9. Wow, protecting those fragments. The Dark Judges believe that all crime is committed by the living, so they've made all living equally guilty. They're not going to be happy till they've eliminated all living. They've done so on their own planet, and now they're turning their attentions to Mega City 1. Mortis is next, 27. Over here in this cover. Judge Fear, 18. Down here. And then 14 for Judge Fire. Wow. So these guys are really protecting this little corner. This is going to be a tough battle. I'm hoping our team might be deployed over here and give us time, or up here, give us time to approach and set things up. Right, that's the Dark Judges. Let's find out where we are. This time we've got a bit of decision making involved. So we're going to turn over a location, then we can choose which one of our 5 to place there. In the normal course of a multiplayer Wildlands game, you're deploying your characters at each turn with a minimum of 1 each turn. For solo, they're all on the map at the start of the game. 21 is up here. And here's my team. On the surface it looks like they're all the same, but the clever thing about this game is that actually each one of these characters has a personality, and it shows you here the type of personality they have on this reference card. It's an action-driven game, and I'll shuffle this in a second, but each card determines which character, so this is Midden-Face McNulty, this is his actions at the top, or Johnny Alpha has the SD logo, so each card can enact one or more of your team, and each has a different type of action, so whether it be a melee attack, a ranged attack. If you look at the Gronk here, he's got 4 icons which are restoring health. He's the only one of the team that can do so. Okay. So if we look at Midden-Face, for example, he's got a spread of, this is 2 melee, 4 ranged, and he's the only one on the team who has this explosion icon. He can throw explosives and hits all units in a single space. He's also a good ranged character, as is Johnny Alpha, the leader of the Strontium Dogs. Johnny's sidekick, Wolf Sturmhammer, he's a hard-hitting melee guy. He's the only character with the smash action, but his defenses are pretty low. These are the defense actions that they have. So for location 21, I think we're going to put Midden-Face up there. Archibald McNulty, Midden-Face McNulty, he has these hard kind of mutations on the top of his head. The Strontium Dogs are a team of mutants, sort of muties as they're called. SD actually stands for Search Destroy Agents, and Strontium Dogs is kind of an offensive nickname that people have cooked up for them. Prejudice is still rife, even in the future. So the muties have a tough old time. Their lot is like the judges. They're trying to seek justice and fight villains, but at the same time the good people are fearful of their mutations. I think it was strontium-90, this radioactive fallout that caused the mutations, like Johnny Alpha, for example. He has like these X-ray eyes. Midden-Face is an old ally of Johnny's from the mutant wars in Scotland. There we go. So we've got him in a position where he could potentially take out this judge here once it moves out of cover. It's not going to be easy. There's a lot of cover over here. Maybe for a ranged fighter it's better to be on the open side than over here in Enid Blyton, where all these yellow walls block line of sight. You can kind of see across all these 3 bridges from here. I think that's a good spot. Alright, who's next? 20. Okay. And that one I didn't want to see. I think we're going to put the Gronk back there, where he's in cover and out of harm's way. So the Gronk is the team's medic. Gronks are timid little creatures. Johnny and Wolf were pursuing some pirates, and they'd kidnapped a Gronk. And Gronks have weak hearts, so this kidnapped Gronk promptly keeled over and died from heart attack. So Wolf took up the pelt from the Gronk, and you'll see on his picture he's wearing a Gronk pelt. Anyway, Gronks see this as a positive thing. They revere the wearing of their pelts. So when they met another, recognizing Wolf's clothing, he joined them as medic. So there you go. That's how a Gronk ended up in the Strontium Dogs. Alright, who's next? 22. Oh my goodness, I did shuffle these, I promise. Alright, I think we're going to put Johnny here. So Johnny's going to lead this little attack. I'm kind of hoping for something in amongst it for Wolf. Yeah, Johnny's ranged as well, you see, so that's not a bad spot. Number 5. Alright, he's over here. Right, this is going to be Wolf's spot. I think we can have him move down in here. And then Durham Red. She's at 34. Which is down here, under cover. Alright. So Durham Red, she's the only one of the team with a special ability. Her mutation is vampirism. When she deals damage, she heals damage. And that's the full team deployed. Here's Durham Red. So Durham Red, she had her own strip on 2000 AD, and then sometimes teamed up with Johnny Alpha on their bounty hunting expeditions. Almost called Chelsea Blue, but she's Durham Red. Apparently there was this idea that Strontium Dogs may be turned into a film, and then they wanted this character to have a Chelsea accent rather than a Durham accent. But there you go, Durham Red is what she is. And here she is, terrorising poor old Ronald Reagan back in 1987. That's it, we're all set up, ready to go. Let's draw our 7 cards. We always go first in this game, and then I'll show you how these actions work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just having a quick look to see who. So we've got quite a lot of icons for Archibald. Johnny's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we've got quite a few options here. I've got 2 interrupts. These are key cards. We'll come back to those in a minute. Let's see, can I do some early damage? I want to keep this card, and we'll come back to that in a minute, but I also want to move and grab a fragment of reality. One way to win is to kill all 4 judges, right? All dark judges. If all of our team get defeated, then we lose. The other way to win is to get 6 points. We get a point by collecting one of these fragments, so I think I want to do that next. Every time we kill a judge, we get a number of points equal to the fragments we've currently collected. So there's a temptation to try and knock out one of these dark judges quickly to kind of reduce the team we're up against. But if we kill a dark judge before we've collected any fragments, they're worth 0 points. If we collect a point and then kill a judge, then it's worth a point, right? So collecting fragments is good, but certainly down in this corner, there's 1, 2, 3 here, and 2 here. This one on this bridge is quick to gain, and Johnny's in position to get that straight away with the cards I've got. It leaves us a little bit open. The cards that are in your hand are used on your turn to do stuff and attack and move, but they're also used to defend against the dark judges on their turn. If you leave yourself short-handed on the dark judge's turn, you could be open to some damage. But early on, I think that's fine. Let's go for a quick run with Johnny. Okay, I'm going to use this card here. It's got Johnny's icon on it. Each of your characters has an icon in top left. That's Johnny's, right? Midden-Face McNulty, his icon is greyed out. We can't do anything for Midden-Face with this card. I could enact Durham Red, Johnny Alpha, or Wolf Sternhammer with this card. Right, I'm going to enact Johnny Alpha. And with the card, you can either move the character or take the special action. This one happens to be a snipe attack, but I want them to move. So to move Johnny, we're going to move from here to here. The board's broken up into spaces, so we're in space 22, and these white lines mean we can move adjacent 1 spot. Okay, so for 1 action, we can move 1 adjacent spot. Here we are. Now what I want to do is pick up this fragment. To pick up this fragment, I need 3 Johnny icons. Okay, 3 icons of Johnny Alpha. I've got 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no, these are grayed out here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I only need 3 of them. I'm going to use these 3. So I can pick up the fragment, put that in my player area. That's 1 point to us. We need 5 more points. Now at this point I can use some more of my cards. I can keep using cards until I'm ready to stop. At the end of our turn we're going to draw 3 cards up to a hand limit of 7. So if I draw now I'd start Dark Judges with 6 cards, and I'd start my next turn with a maximum of 6 cards. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to end my turn there. And we'll draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Now I've got 6 cards for the next turn. Okay, discard these. We don't need this deck here for the Dark Judges. This is if you're playing them as a team in a multiplayer game. We'll get rid of these. But instead we have this solo deck. And what we do for the Dark Judges is we turn 2 cards, 1 at a time. And then we enact it from top to bottom. The first action is for Judge Fire. And Judge Fire is going to take the explode action. It says if in the same or adjacent space, take an explode action. If you can't do it, it just ignores it and we step down. Judge Fire's over here. There's no one adjacent, so I'm going to skip that. Next, we have Judge Fear. Judge Fear does a melee attack. Again, he needs to be in the same space this time. So we step past that one. Judge Mortis does nothing. And then Judge Death does a move. Okay. This icon in the top right, by the way, we ignore this. This is when they're taking a defense against our attacks. You flip and just check this icon. Alright, so ignore that for now. Alright, Judge Death is going to move. Judge Death, here he is going to move towards the closest enemy character, which is Wolf, just up here. Closest, just count number of spaces. And he goes. That's it, that concludes this card. We've completed it from top to bottom. Alright, pretty simple, huh? The bad news is, every time the Dark Judges act, they do 2 of these cards. But in between these cards, there's an opportunity for us to interrupt. I'm just going to check my hand. No, I don't have any interrupt cards. I discarded 2 last time. These special ones, these are interrupt cards. See this orange exclamation mark icon here? If we had this card now, we could play it, interrupt, take a turn, take a whole turn, do as much stuff as we wanted. And when we finished, it goes back to the Dark Judges and then they play their second card. So we could, if we wished, I don't know, maybe before we're worried that this Judge Death is going to do an attack on Wolf, so we could maybe do a snipe attack before he gets to attack, interrupt him. And this is a super part of the multiplayer game, and they've built it into the solo game for us as well. Awesome. But we don't have any interrupt cards, so let's push on. Second solo card. Right, Judge Fire does nothing. Alright, Judge Fear has a snipe attack. This is a snipe. Now, snipe, it says, if in line of sight and range, we take a snipe attack. Now, as it goes, there's no limit at all. There's no limit to a snipe attack. You can attack across the whole board. But see this one here with this shotgun shell? This is a shotgun action. This one does have a limit. This is 2 spaces only. The difference is the snipe is kind of an infinite range, but it only does 1 damage. The shotgun is within 2 range and does 2 damage. Okay, so a stronger attack but short range. Right, so snipe at line of sight for Judge Fear. Judge Fear is down here. Now, as it goes, I think everyone is in line of sight apart from Wolf. To determine line of sight, you draw a line between the space that your character's on and then the target. Let's say Durham Red, right? Over here. Now, notice Durham Red is on one of these cover spaces, right? The black circle with a number in it as opposed to the blue one. This is an open space. If you're standing in cover, it doesn't block line of sight. However, let's say we're trying to trace line of sight from here to space 28. Okay, this line cuts through a cover space. This does block line of sight. The source and destination spaces do not block line of sight. Walls block line of sight. Cover spaces in between block line of sight. There's a big wall here, so that's blocking line of sight. We're going to go for the closest character. Distance in this game is measured by number of spaces. So Durham Red is only 1, 2, 3 spaces away. So snipe attack from here to here. She's in cover. There's a handy defense breakdown. So from a snipe attack we can use a deflect defense, a precognition defense, is like we saw it coming, right? Ducked. Or cover defense, we can duck behind cover. But I need to play a card with one of those icons on it. So we'll look at my hand. At the bottom of each card there's common icons that can be used by any character. They're non-character specific. Right, so I have got a deflect card. And then for Durham Red, we've got a cover deflect, and a snipe. So I could use any one of these 3 cards as it goes. Or I could just take the wound. I mean, these are good, but they're also good because it allows Johnny to do an attack. I think Judge Death's going to move in and do a melee attack, so I'll probably want Wolf to fight back. So I might save those. I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to take the wound. Sorry, Red. You're losing a wound. So each character starts with a number of health tokens equal to their starting health. So Durham Red's is 3. So he's got 3 of these cubes. He's about to lose 1. Then we move on down. Alright, that snipe attack was successful. Next, Judge Mortis is going to move. Mortis is here. Again, moving towards the closest. So 1, 2, 3, 4 away for Archie. 1, 2, yeah, it's coming in here. So Judge Mortis could move here or here. And in the case of 2 equally distant spaces to move to, they take the lowest numbered one. So Judge Mortis is moving out of cover and heading towards Durham Red. It looks like they're ganging up. But we're about to see Judge Death also take a move and then do a melee attack. So here we are, heading towards Wolf. And a melee attack. Now, our defense breakdown tells us the defense against the melee attack is the melee red fist icon. Wolf's quite strong, he's got 4 health. We could defend against this using this one. This might be a good one to use. Durham's got a snipe attack. I think we're going to use this. We're going to defend against this. Okay, cool. All we do is discard it. That's it. We block the attack. That's the Dark Judge's turn complete, and it's back to us. And what I want to do now is a sustained attack, probably on Judge Death. Now, obviously, the tactics in the solo game are different to multiplayer. I mean, human versus human, you know, you might be doing things like, let's see, where's Wolf? Here we are. You know, do I hit him with the big attack first, or do I soften him up with the melee? Hope my opponent's going to play out his defense, then I smash him and he's got nothing to defend against it. With the solo game, they've always got cards, right? So there's not that psychological battle, but it's exciting all the same. So I might just... they do have armor, which I'll show you. Once we do start dealing some damage, I'll show you that. In fact, I'm gonna have Johnny do a psychic attack first, a psi attack. And the reason why is because Johnny's psi attack, there's no defense against this. Look on the defense breakdown. No defense against this. So they're not even going to bother drawing a card. This does 1 automatic damage as long as you're in line of sight. So 1 automatic damage against Judge Death. Judge Death starts with 4 health, but they've each got this armor token. The first attack you do on a turn is absorbed by this armor. Right, it's the first damage. So if I did a shotgun attack and did 2 damage, the first would get soaked up and then the second one would hit his health, right? So it's always 1 damage reduced. Now my attacks will get through. So we've gotten rid of his armor. This is the vulnerable side. This is the protected side. Okay. The catch, at the end of every player's turn, so at the end of my turn, all the vulnerables are going to flip back to protected. So it's going to happen again the next time we down damage. So we've got to really do a sustained attack against these guys to actually get damage to go through. Right, Dark Judges, that's 1 down. The other thing that's different, obviously, is playing solo. They don't have an interrupt. They can't interrupt. In multiplayer, I could play this. Now another player could interrupt and continue before it comes back to me. In fact, if you're playing with 3 or 4 players, you can have a series of interruptions before you get your active turn back. And now I've softened him up with this psi attack from Johnny. Good job. Let's have Wolf do his smash. Alright, this is for 2 damage. It's a 2 damage melee attack. You have to be in the same space. But it's a bit of a beaut. Our reference card tells us we've only got 2 of these in the whole deck, so I'm hoping this goes through. Let's draw a card. This is their defense. Okay, there was no defense against psych, but there is against melee attacks. And we're good. It's a cover defense. Right, this was not a ranged attack. The only defense that would have helped them would have been this red fist. Beautiful, that's 2 damage against Judge Death. Nicely done, Wolf. Now we've got him down. Wolf is going to get... Oh, hang on. We could have Johnny do a ranged attack. I might do that. So this is Johnny's icon and his special here. So you can use it to move, right? You can use it to pick up fragments of reality, or always this special icon for Johnny, which is snipe this time. So we're in line of sight. But unlike the psychic attack, they can now defend against this. He's not in cover, so the cover defense won't work. But deflect or precognition will do it for the Dark Judges. So let's draw. And yes, that's a good result. That would have blocked Wolf, but it doesn't block a ranged attack. Nicely done. That's another 1 health damage. Judge Death is down to 1 health. Can we finish him off? I've got 2 cards left, so we're going to be vulnerable. I'm going to draw 3, so that'll take me up to 5. But I feel like finishing this guy off. And yeah, I'm going to keep this one in case Durham needs it. So let's not have Johnny do an attack. Let's have Wolf do another melee attack. This time a regular melee attack. Draw for defense. Ready? Yes! Excellent. There's a deflect. We've done it. We've taken down our first Dark Judge. You're out of here. Flip this over. Now we've got a ghost of a character. Now what this means is the other Dark Judges will become a little bit stronger. I'll show you that when we get to it. More importantly is we get a bonus point for that. So this character's out. And we'll get victory points equal to the number of fragments we've currently collected. We've only collected 1 fragment, so that kill is only worth 1 victory point. So we take 1 of another colour, doesn't matter what colour we choose. So now we're up to 2. 2 out of the 6 we need. And I think I'm going to end my turn there. I want a little bit of defense for Durham Red. Alright, awesome. Discard. Draw back up. Draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what we get. Alright, I'm glad we kept hold of that because there's nothing here for Durham otherwise. Okay, great work, team. We've set ourselves up nicely, I think. The judges now down to 3. 4 of our team up here. Durham Red is vulnerable though in cover down at the southeast. And it's the Dark Judge's turn to dish out some death. Join me next time and we'll see what happens next.